Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. I'm your host, Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR. And I missed this article on Dicebreaker. All right. So, this article is, I believe, from February 23rd, 2022. And it says Roll20's user base has doubled since 2020. More than 10 million people join online RPG platform. Now, for those of you who don't play VTTs, virtual tabletops, Roll20 is a virtual tabletop. It is an online interface where you can play your RPGs. Um, and it's been out for, I don't know, I want to say about close to 10 years. I know I backed it on Kickstarter back in the day. I probably could check. But it's been around for a while. And there's a whole an argument between like, oh, well, what's better, Roll20 or Fantasy Grounds? I think which is better is irrelevant. I believe that if you have a user base of 10 million players, I think you've won the game. If there's an absolute, I think they've won. So, why would they double in 2 years? Well, what happened 2 years ago in February, March of 2020? We had the world of the pandemic. I'm not laughing at the pandemic. It's just that it is uh, it shows a huge effect in a lot of things. And yes, as the article states, Wizards of the Coast reported record sales during 2020. Why would that be if you can't go out and play your games in person? Because people were oftentimes playing their games virtually. So, doubled its user base to 10 million people. So now it doesn't mean that 10 million people are exclusively playing via a virtual tabletop. It doesn't mean any of that. It doesn't mean that you are no longer going to brick and mortar stores. It doesn't mean you no longer go into somebody's living room or a kitchen to play at the table. Excuse me. But it does mean that virtual tabletops are here to stay. Roll20, despite its faults, and I'm somebody who uses Roll20, and I will admit that it certainly has faults, but one of those faults is that we don't use the voice and video feature for it. We use Discord because Discord is much more stable. But it certainly has a lot of features that people can enjoy and replicate to a large extent the experience of playing at a physical table. And that's what people are looking for. People forget that. It's like, oh, well, why would I want to play online? Well, if you can play online with your friends throughout the country, throughout the world, not have to go outside, not have to disrupt maybe the family environment, not spend uh, maybe an hour or 2 hours commuting to the game, uh, maybe it's an improvement. I'm not saying it's better necessarily. I'm not saying it is the optimal option, but players, uh, people are certainly getting usage out of it. 10 million now. What are they? What are those people playing? Well, appears to be those people are playing by far 5e. Now we knew that 5e was you know the elephant in the room. It's the big bully. It has campaigns listed and accounts. I always go by campaigns when I look at this, and campaigns are just under 55% of the campaigns on Roll20 are 5e. Okay, so that would mean approximately 5 million people potentially are playing 5e on Roll20. Not counting Fantasy Grounds, not counting Owlbear Rodeo or any of the other alternatives. Now I'm going to hear the argument. It always comes up. Oh, but the Pathfinder players are greatly underestimated. Most of them use X or Y. Whatever they use is fine. But no other VTT has a user base of 10 million. I doubt any other VTT has a user base of 1 million. So the numbers are certainly going to be skewed, but we can take this to some extent as a look at the numbers of what people are playing. So almost 55% play 5e, uncharacterized. This could be anything, honestly, right? It could be, who knows? It could be OSR, AD&D, Rollmaster. It could be any of the newer RPGs. It could be Aliens, right? It could be Conan. It could be any of this stuff. We don't know. We go beyond that. Call of Cthulhu, any edition. They're all relatively compatible, right? Over 9%. Where does Pathfinder come into place? It's the third named system. Pathfinder is 3.3%. Pathfinder second edition 1.4%. Between them, they are less than 5%. Again, these are not perfect numbers, but you can look at it and vaguely say that it's likely the market for Pathfinder is about 1/10 the market for 5e. Not a perfect science. Maybe it isn't 1/10. Maybe it's greatly underrepresented. Maybe the number should be double that. Maybe it's 1/5 the market of 5e. Maybe. I don't think so. But these are data points that you can look at and get an estimate. Again, nobody's saying that these numbers are going to carry across regular table play that's physical. But these are important numbers to look at because we don't really get physical numbers, right? We don't know the numbers that everybody's playing in their local game store. In the local game store, a lot of that's going to be organized play. Again, heavily skewed to 5e and Pathfinder. There's no organized play for Call of Cthulhu, and they're getting over 9% of the games. 9% of 10 million is saying that there's nearly 1,900,000 players or campaigns for Call of Cthulhu on Roll20. Warhammer. Warhammer comes in at just under 1%. That's all, it looks like it's all the classic Warhammer versions. Fantasy, 40K, Wrath and Glory. Starfinder comes in at just over 0.5%, 0.56. So we can tell, again, even if you're saying, well, no, these numbers are wrong. Well, Starfinder is 1/10 the market of Pathfinder, according to these numbers. And even if they're skewed, maybe it's not 1/10, maybe it's 1/5. It's still small. Again, assuming that Pathfinder will double the market for Pathfinder and Pathfinder 2e, assume that not even 5% we're looking at is really 10%. So it has 1/5 the market of 5e. Pathfinder is still 1/10. Sorry, Starfinder is still 1/10 that a Pathfinder. That's interesting, right? And that also skews and lets you know why do we have Pathfinder 2e, right? When we were promised we weren't going to have it. We have it because Starfinder was not a success. It's not a commercial success. The money is not there. And let's be honest, if it's not you or me publishing our Heartbreaker, people are in it for the money. Right? These companies are in it to make money. This is a market. These are data points that people are looking at. So if you want to know where the money is, 5e certainly is it. All right, folks. On that note, I could go into deeper, but I'm not going to. What's the deal? Oh, that's right. We're talking about the pandemic. Pandemic spiked. Number of gamers that were online doubled them, right? Again, that's where the numbers are coming from. We're still in the midst of the world of the pandemic to some extent. Please use your common sense. You're a fucking adult. Please act like it. All right. I'm not going to go into anything deeper than that. Other than that, be safe, be well, God bless, roll those dice, roll them well, and I'll be back again tomorrow. Same bad time. No, probably not same bad time. Same bad channel? Same bad channel. All right, folks. On that note, thank you much. I'll catch you later.